Today's December 16th, 2024, Bitcoin daily time frame. We were trading inside of the range of this daily inversion fair value gap for a little over a week or so. CB premium high, inversion fair value gap, these are the same words, same things. So essentially, like I mentioned, we were trading inside the range of this daily inversion fair value gap, and this was the day right here with these two long wicks where Bitcoin tapped 100K plus for the first time. It then collapsed to the downside around 92K-ish roughly, and then tapped into this daily rejection block, taking out sell-side liquidity from the past week or so, creating three up candles, and then it dropped down back into the range of this daily fair value gap, and we had some nice sensitivity there for 3 days, pushing price up after tapping into the high of the daily inversion fair value gap, tapping into the high of it, breaking above market structure, um, confirming bullishness, taking out buy side liquidity, creating a daily order block that pushed price a little bit higher. And then we had ourselves a daily BTC premium high. So this is a daily fair value gap, same thing. It tapped into the daily fair value gap level or the body of it. And then it created a daily institutional order flow entry drill as it pushed price up. And then when it pushed price up, it was respecting this daily order block level. The 50% of it is marked up right there. We stayed above that and they stayed above the body of the daily order block. Again, like I mentioned, pushing price up. And then we're just shy of 108K. So 106, 107. That's where we're at right now. 4 hour time frame. This is the daily institutional order flow entry drill level that I was showing you guys. Pretty straightforward. Yesterday in my YouTube community notes tab, and then also in my Twitter channel, I mentioned that I want to see Bitcoin respect this 4 hour fair value gap. And as it did that, it would um, push price higher. So that's what we got. This is where we're at right now. 4 hour fair value gap right here. Bitcoin tapping into it as we see. I want to see it respect this area and then continue higher. If we lose this 4 hour fair value gap, then it signifies to me that we want to revisit lower prices and retrace a little bit lower. 1 hour time frame, it's the same idea, but this time I want to show you guys the 1 hour inversion fair value gap right here and right here. Okay. After clearing this high, Bitcoin is deciding to retrace right now as we speak. 15-minute time frame, 15-minute fair value gap, 50% of the fair value gap inside of the 1 hour inversion fair value gap level. Market maker sell model as it took out sell-side liquidity right there. Okay. And then breaking it down in the 5-minute time frame, 1 hour inversion fair value gap level. And then we have ourselves a 5-minute fair value gap that pushed price down to complete the market maker sell model, taking out sell-side liquidity right there, and so on and so forth. So that's that on Bitcoin. Just to clarify one more time, I want to see it respect this 4 hour fair value gap and continue higher. If we lose this 4 hour fair value gap, it's going to act as support for price. Sorry, it's going to act as resistance for price to push price down. But right now, this 4 hour fair value gap is acting as support to push price higher. And let's see, Ethereum monthly time frame. So Bitcoin and Ethereum have a nice relationship. They kind of move pretty much in tandem. There's correlations and there's there's a lot of similarities between the two. So just as much as I look at Bitcoin, I look at Ethereum and I have to analyze one to understand the other. And I want to also show you guys how this 1 hour, how this kind of little retracement on Bitcoin, even though we're at all-time highs and there's no previous data to tell me where it's going to tap for me to understand that there will be a retracement, because when it taps a certain reference point or a certain PD array for the first time, Bitcoin, price action is always going to react to it and retrace and kind of retrace and kind of, whether it's go down, retrace, drop like crazy or go sideways, etc. There's always going to be a move to react from. So with that being said, even though, like I mentioned, Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, it started retracing. The relationship with that is the following on Ethereum. And I'll get into that on the 1 hour time frame and so on Ethereum. But with that being said, monthly time frame on Ethereum, 50% of the monthly order block. This is the drawn liquidity. So this is where I want to see price reach for into 4,200, 4,300 to 4,500. So monthly fair value gap right there. This is a monthly fair value gap with these two lines right there. That's going to be important for price because as you see, it tapped into this monthly fair value gap level right there on the monthly time frame, staying closed below it. So it had nice sensitivity there. Displacement to the downside. It had this collapse on Ethereum. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get too detailed and make it all about the monthly time frame with Ethereum because there's a lot of information. But with that being said, I'm referencing this monthly fair value gap level right here. Okay. And then you're going to see that level in the lower time frame. 4 hour. No, this is a week. Sorry, this is a 1 week time frame. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to get into what happened here. It's a lot of information, but this is what it looks like on the weekly time frame. And we took out. This is a market maker buy model, and we took out buy side liquidity right there. And this is the daily time frame on Ethereum. This daily fair value gap is going to be important for price just over here. So I'm also referencing just how I'm also referencing the monthly fair value gap that I showed you guys, where obviously we see Ethereum collapse right there. I'm also referencing this daily fair value gap level right there as well. And that's going to be important later on in my lower time frame analysis. And then a daily order block right there. Um, and then push price higher to take out buy side liquidity, completing the market maker buy model. And then after take out the buy side liquidity, starting to retrace. So when I said that Bitcoin in the 1 hour time frame is, cause obviously this retracement to the downside after taking out the high right here, and then this whole move to the downside. Another factor, underlying factor with all that and that retracement on Bitcoin is the fact that we took out the buy side liquidity also on Ethereum, right? So we took out buy side liquidity as well on Ethereum. So that's an indication that, Bitcoin's going to retrace if Ethereum is, taking out liquidity, or if Ethereum is tapping a previous PD array and so on and so forth. I'll just leave that in a nutshell because it's a lot of information. But um, 1 hour time frame on Ethereum, how I mentioned that I wanted that daily fair value gap level to be important on Ethereum right here. Draw it out in time. And then we have, boom, right there. After Ethereum did its business, right here kind of dropped and then blah, blah, blah. After it did all of this, and let me just double check. Actually, I want to see that. Yeah, so there's a daily fair value gap level right there, I think. No, actually, no, I'm never mind. It might be. I'm not sure. I think I'd have to zoom in a little bit more. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure there is. But either way, there's a daily fair value gap level right there that push price above. But I'm just trying to reference. You can see I'm doing this on the fly, guys. I'm learning as I go. Trust me, I'll get better. But nonetheless, daily. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm trying to show you guys. This collapse on Ethereum into this daily fair value gap right there. Draw that out in time. Ethereum respected that. And then on this, it respected this daily fair value gap, push price up. So this right here, this would be the daily fair value gap level right there, push price up, break above market structure. And then, like I mentioned, this daily fair value gap level on Ethereum, draw that out in time. Okay. And then we see price tap, Ethereum tap right there. 1 hour fair value gap, institutional order flow entry drill into the daily fair value gap high right there. Boom. And it's continued to push price higher, but also in the daily time frame, daily order block right there with the blue line. Excuse me, with the blue line and the 50% of it as well. Right here, we see price respecting that, and then it pushed price right there. Okay, taking out buy side liquidity, and that's where we're at right now with Ethereum. And then just zoomed in price action right there. Like I mentioned, that daily order block level, we respected it right there. So we have ourselves an optimal trade entry, fair value gap, order block, expansion, and the price is now retracing after, like I said, taking out the high over there, and so on and so forth. And then 15-minute time frame as well, after taking out the high on the daily time frame, completing the daily market maker buy model, taking out the high right there. After we did that, we start to retrace, and then this retracement is exactly right here on the 15-minute time frame, fair value gap, boom. And then on the 5-minute time frame, we have another 5-minute fair value gap right there, and then there's one there and there and so on, and then boom. So it's kind of pretty much it right now. I'm trying to see Ethereum overall. I see it, like I mentioned, just clarify one more time. I want to see Ethereum continue higher. Oh, that's Bitcoin. One sec. Yeah, I want to see Ethereum continue higher. And I guess it would, maybe it's probably want to revisit, whether it's this daily order block or I don't have a 4 hour time frame fair value gap right now, but this level right here and so on and so forth. I want to see respect that. If we lose this level or below here, then it might want to retrace a little bit lower before sending it back high. But overall, I want to see Ethereum reach for 4,500 as the next draws on liquidity, where I want to see it go to and tap into before if it taps into these levels, we're probably going to see a reactionary move to the downside, creating a retracement. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Cheers.